Good morning, Dayton. That broccoli suit looks good on you.
Thanks, Jack. I still think it is silly that you demanded we wear these secret costumes.
I do what it takes to keep my moves close to my vest. I know the media would be all over what we're here to talk about.
Whatever you say. I don't need to worry much about media scrutiny here in KC.
Ha ha ha, I'm literally laughing out loud.
By the way, Jack, that's quite the outfit. It gives you a slimming and eerily feminine figure.
Like I said, I like to keep my moves close to my vest. I'm not kidding around with my costume. I don't want my identity to be obvious.
The Z is a nice touch, though.
Thanks, I thought so.
One last question before we get down to business. Why are you in a cage above a pool of molten lava with sharks in it?
Again, it's just for secrecy. We've come this far without a media leak. I have never seen a reporter charged through a volcanic eruption, or through sharks. Together, they are a winning combination, unlike your team, the Royals.
Jack, I'd be offended by the last comment if you weren't here to help me out today. What's it going to take for me to get Yuni Betancourt?
My scouts and I have our eyes on several prospects in your minor league system. I want to strike a fair deal, so I'm not shooting for the moon. I realize that Yuni has his shortcomings, such as his aggressive approach at the plate.
Whoa, Jack, let's not make assumptions here. One reason I'm so interested in Betancourt is because he swings with reckless abandon. My owner wants aggressive hitters because they are much more cost-efficient.
How does that work?
Well, it's a double whammy. First of all, aggressive hitters tend to be worse hitters, so they are cheaper. On top of that, all the pitches they don't see make at bats quicker, and allow opponent starting pitchers to go deeper into ball games. Both of those factors contribute to quicker ball games, and since all of the stadium employees are paid by the hour, that lowers operating costs.
Wow, I hadn't ever thought of it that way. Your owner is David Glass, right? The former CEO of Walmart?
He sure is. Named Retailer of the Year in 1986 and 1991, and inducted into the Retail Hall of Fame in 2000.
Are those real awards?
Absolutely. I've seen the plaques in his office, and he's too cheap to have had them made for himself.
You make a good point. So, you are pretty interested in Yuni Betancourt then? He fits your plan perfectly, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Then how do you feel about giving us Dan Cortez for Betancourt's services? I like his plus fastball, and I see some promise in his breaking ball too.
Before we go further, you're aware that he pissed all over a fence outside a bar in Arkansas this year, right?
I am, but thanks for being upfront with that information. In the grand scheme of reasons a player could end up in jail, urinating on a fence is just embarrassing, and not much else. Plus, Dan was in Arkansas. What else is there to do besides get drunk and pee on fences?
Jack, I'm glad you are so willing to look past this silly incident and see the kind of talent this boy has.
Yeah, my biggest concern with him actually is his walk rate. His ERA this year worried me at first too, but my stat department crunched some of his peripheral numbers and assured me that there are good reasons to believe he is better than all those runs allowed indicate.
Were you speaking English just then? Don't confuse me with all those numbers. And what was that about his stat department?
Aren't you familiar with sabermetrics at all, Dayton?
No, I don't believe in numbers at all. If you use numbers, then the terrorists have won.
Well then the terrorists are winning, unlike your Royals.
You know, Jack, if I wasn't so interested in getting Betancourt, or worried that you'll throw me in a pot of molten lava with sharks in it, I would walk out on these negotiations right now. I am crying on the inside.
Sorry, Dayton, that was a low blow. I tell you what, I'll eat some of Betancourt's salary if we agree on a trade. Does that make you feel better?
All is forgiven. That would make my owner very happy.
Back to stats, I didn't realize how opposed you are to them. Aren't both Zach Greinke and Brian Bannister really into advanced metrics?
Yes, but we are doing what we can to mitigate their cancerous habits. We have blocked access to Fangraphs at Kauffman Stadium. Also, Jose Gillen has been a tremendous influence. As I'm sure you've seen in the newspapers, he comes out from time to time and publicly criticizes the team for not playing the right way. There is a reason he hasn't been confronted about his comments.
Wow, you run things so different with the Royals than I do in Seattle. Aren't you worried that one day Greeky is going to ask to be traded with the way you are treating him right now?
We've already tried to trade him. We had a deal worked out with the Rays last year. They were going to give us 3 pints of Stephen Colbert's Americone Dream ice cream, along with a flavor to be named later.
Wow, that sounds like a lopsided deal.
That's what Commissioner Selig said too when he didn't allow the trade to go through. I think he hid the real reason though. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like Stephen Colbert. Apparently you don't either.
I think Colbert is funny. I'll catch his show online from time to time when I need a good laugh.
You think he's funny? My entire front office runs off his core principle of truthiness. All deals are about how they feel. I watch the Colbert Report for sound advice on how to manage my roster.
You know, Christopher Columbus used his yacht to sail to Asia and ended up in the Bahamas. He never realized it wasn't Asia before he died.
Yeah, and he didn't have the Colbert Report to guide him.
So, how do you feel about giving me Dan Cortez for Yuni's ski bet on court, along with some cash, to cover some of Yuni's salary?
Sounds terrific.
Okay, we have a deal. Shall we announce it to the press?
Once I get out of this broccoli suit.